Why is taking the time to build a relationship with a customer important, and how do you go about doing that?
I'm a big believer in professional selling. So I'm the type of person that I really want to build the relationship first. And to me, it's first and foremost. And that if I could build a relationship with you, that's what counts in the long run, whether we do business or not. And it has to be genuine. It has to be sincere. And just as I said earlier, you might find a customer that doesn't have a need for your product or service. And for you to say, not right now, or, thanks but no thanks, it's not it's not something for you at this point in time. I could see that here. And even recommend something smaller or an alternative, or to stick with what they have. That's part of the trust. That's part of the relationship building that you have. Knowing that at some point in the future, either the opportunity may grow to the point where they do need your product or service, or the customer may leave to go to another organization that now is a much bigger organization that does have a need for your product or service. That relationship carries through. And then ultimately, by building that relationship over time, it's the ability to kind of start small and continue to work your way up the ladder with regards to the offerings that you're able to bring to the table. Nowadays, relationships are key. And in the olden days, you kind of had to maintain relationships. And if somebody was to move out of town or move companies, if they didn't tell you where they were going, it was kind of hard to keep track of them. But nowadays, with LinkedIn and Facebook and everything else and all the electronic means to kind of keep tabs on folks, whether they move across town or across country or around the world, you can continue that contact. And so I have folks calling me back all the time, asking questions, asking advice, asking for insights, whatever it might be, because of the relationships that we've built over time. So relationship is the key. Whether you do business or not, it's the key. And I'll mention one other thing. I can't tell you how many times a day I receive vendor calls, people trying to sell me things, especially if it's a phone call, that they'll call once and I'll never hear from them again. So part of that is just persistence. And so to me, the relationship is you start with what they call a cold call. I don't know you, you don't know me. But even if I don't get to know you, and even if you don't answer the phone, that cold call, I'm going to eventually turn into a warm call. So I might send you a piece of information. Again, people might send emails, but I'll also send a piece of kind of snail mail, usually lumpy mail. So it gets noticed, so it comes on their desk, because nowadays to get a letter at your company and it's on your desk and there's something in it, there's something lumpy in it, that's rare. I mean, you might get one of those a month. So right away, it's going to start to say, well, who's this? And start to make a change. Sending postcards, just FYI, sending clippings, hey, I saw this article about your company. And you start that relationship. And even though it might be one way, you consistently call. So again, it might be every 30 days. I just give the person a call. And I might vary the times that I call. So I might try to call real early in the morning or real late in the evening or later in the evening, as opposed to kind of 9 o'clock Monday morning when everybody's busy. But eventually I'm going to connect with that person. And now I've taken that time to build that relationship from a soft perspective. So now it's a soft call and a soft relationship. It may still not be an opportunity. And then eventually, once I've had the phone conversation, just to initially figure out, is there a need now or maybe down the future, and just ask permission. Do you mind if I give you a call back in 90 days? If there's not, people don't object, but the point is you have to do it. So again, I can't tell you how many times people call, but they never call back. I've never heard, they just don't persist. And they'll send me 100 emails because emails are automated these days. And it's so funny, they think that they're being clever in the way that they write their emails, but you can tell there's software behind it, because you get the same email practically with the same language from 4 different vendors in completely different industries. So it's kind of the model, or something's kind of firing emails, kind of what the first email says, the second email says, the third email, and so on. And they're getting more and more clever these days. So that relationship piece is critical, and I can't underscore that enough in differentiating yourself as a salesperson and truly elevating you above your competition.